Okay, hear me out. Spicy, but neutral spicy. How pretty is this palette? This is from TRESLUCE. I hope I'm saying that right. TRESLUCE Beauty. That's real pretty. So we're applying Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. This is the shade Fair. And we're going to take it over this way. And we're going to use neutrals, but we're still going to find some ways to add some spice. And we're applying this with a C31. All right, y'all want to learn something? Of course y'all want to learn something. That's why you're here. Now, before we get into the palette, when we see neutrals, we think, oh, neutrals. They're just all neutrals. Hang on. So when you look at these, do you see red in that? Let's swatch it. Undertones are so important, even when it comes to picking out eyeshadow. Okay, so do you see how much red? But that's still considered a brown. Wild, right? So let's grab this more deep brown. It's a little bit more neutral. See that difference? Now it is darker, but it's more of a neutral brown, but you'll see here that it's still gonna have red in it. This is a very warm red brown palette. So when I first started, I would try to recreate looks, and I didn't realize that I wasn't using the right shades of browns or whatever color it was. I wasn't using the right undertone. So let's even swatch this one here. Still very warm, but you're gonna see this one actually has a lot more orange in it than red. I'm telling you, once you kind of just play around with undertones, it just opens up a whole new world. Now, I'm not gonna get too in depth here because we wanna just get some eyeshadow on, but this is a really, really good way to figure out undertones with eyeshadows. So I'm gonna start with this shade. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really pigmented. That's how much I picked up, and it's on the side of the brush. I'm just gonna take this and start to build it in our crease. If you can't shut one eye at a time, just kind of look down. This part, you don't really have to see what you're doing. Or you can even kind of look to the side in the mirror and you'll be able to, kind of like what I'm looking right now, you'll be able to reach all of that. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and just kind of build that up. This is gonna be our transition shade. We'll come back and build depth in a second. Okay, so now we're gonna tap into this shade. There it is. Tap it on the highest point of the brow bone, and then from there, take it over this way and over this way. And that's just really gonna melt everything together. You can see what a difference that's already made. Nice. So what I'm gonna post tonight is actually a dupe for this blush. I'm talking identical. I can't wait to show you. I'm so excited to share that. So that's what I'm gonna post this evening. And then, oh, I have to hop off and film something really fun. It's foundation again, but it's something that goes with foundation. You're gonna love it. It's so good. So now we're gonna grab this shade on the tip of the brush. You'll see it there. From here, we're gonna start to deepen the socket. Kind of warm it up a little bit more. Pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna shade, and we're gonna grab this shade now. Grab it on the side of the brush, flip it towards the ceiling, and we'll just kind of tap it in here. And then I'll relax my eye, and I'm just gonna shade this part. I'm doing very light, kind of dragging motions, but I'm so light-handed. I'm holding the brush very far back to give it a very light touch, kind of just press it over this way. And I think we'll switch now to an E27. So now we're gonna grab an E27 and that same shade. And I'm gonna tilt my head back a little bit and just continue this. Press it, and then I'm going to relax my eye, shade through there. I've been talking about this more and more, and the style of eyeshadow that's been very popular for very many years is very blown out, but that's also made us forget what eyeshadow means. I know that a lot of times, I'm going to make this a little bit more intense. A lot of times we think that if we can see a line in our eyeshadow, it's not supposed to be there. But if I didn't have that little bit of a line there, it wouldn't be shadowing my eye and reshaping it. So with your eye open, just kind of shade where you want it. For me, I want a little bit more lift, so I'm not going to worry about over blending that and getting rid of the line. Eyeshadow. The difference would be if I was to take this line and it be that harsh kind of through here. But since it's barely peeking out, that's me looking straight on. Do you see that? And you can see that that just adds so much more depth, and it even opens up my eye here more because you're bringing that crease up higher. Now, if we look over here, it's still very pretty, but there's not as much shape. Remember, it's okay. Lines are okay. It's called eyeshadow. I will say 2016 or 2014 to 2016 YouTube had me thinking that if I saw one line, I wasn't doing it right. But that look isn't great for all eyes. You have to really figure out your eye shape, and then you're kind of shadowing around that. If you have very hooded eyes, a little bit of shape like this really, really, really helps. And a very blown out look can be very, very pretty, but it's not really going to change your eye shape and lift and do what eyeshadow is meant to do. Now I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette, which is this shade, taking it on the tip of the E27, and I'm just going to apply the darkest shade kind of through here, just through the center. Just to really round out the eye. We're always having fun with different eye shapes here. So just through the center. That's fun. So now we're going to take whatever base is left in our C31, the eyeshadow base that we used, and just kind of clean this up a little bit, not doing a cut crease. I'm trying to stay away from cut creases. I love them, but I always want to challenge myself. Okay, so I normally don't gravitate to this kind of yellowy, goldy copper. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna grab that on a C31. In case y'all are wondering, that's Pizza Hut texting me. Don't ask me how I'm on Pizza Hut text, but let me tell you, if there's a Pizza Hut update, you best believe Rose is getting it. I haven't had Pizza Hut in 2 years, yet I'm up to date. Okay, back to this. We're grabbing that on the C30. And we're just going to start to pack that on our lid. We love this one for shimmer now. Don't worry about being perfect here. We're going to fade it into that later. And trust me, all of this is going to get cleaned up. It's a whole process. But I also want you to remember that if you need to know anything about Pizza Hut, you just ask me. Makeup tutorials and Pizza Hut updates. Grab some more of the same color shadow. We're just gonna bring it over here. It's a really beautiful shade. And then I'm just gonna start to tap it. Now we're not gonna bring it to the very top of the brown because we still want that nice matte definition, but we are going to tap it and just kind of feather it into the brown. Pretty. So I decided I want it to be more defined through here, just towards the front. So I just picked up more of the color and I'm just using the edge of the brush here to really sharpen it. So do you ever notice that I leave my lash line bare? See how there's no shimmer there and it feels very incomplete? Well, the reason I do that is because if we're going to put any type of liner or eyeshadow on top of shimmer, it makes it a lot harder. So just by leaving this space blank, the shadow or your liner is just going to grab so much easier. So we're just going to press the dark brown, we're going to press it there, and we're going to press it there. And I'm going to leave the center bare, and you're going to see why in a second. And then I'm just going to take whatever's left here on the brush and just kind of connect it. Look at how pretty that is. Just a little whisper of sparkle. Also from TRESLUCE Beauty, this is their liquid shadow in Morganite. And we're just gonna take that and pull it right through there. That's fun. So I'm trying to figure out lashes, but while I was figuring out lashes, this came. Look at this packaging. This is from GLAM. It's a lip balm. I'm beautiful now. This is it. This is what I needed. No, but seriously, that smells and feels amazing. Little baby. That's cute. Okay, this is, it's called Rose Glow. Of course I like it. This is staying close. There's actually other shades too. We'll have to swatch them. I just grabbed this one because I actually did forget to put on lip balm in a hurry, but that's beautiful. Super hydrating. I like it. So I don't want to cover up our pretty little peep of shimmer there, so I'm grabbing these lashes, and you can see that the lash band is very, very small. So we're just going to pop these on. There we go. So we still have that really pretty lash, but you can still see that little pop of shimmer, especially once I press them in. This little lash tool is from House of Lashes as well, and I love it. Grab this, also from the brand. I'm going to label it, and this is the shade Accomplished, and we're just going to run this along our waterline. Look how pretty that is. It's like a bronze shimmer. All right, I have to hop off and film something. I am going to be using this foundation right here, the Yinza. So I'm going to use that for sure. Y'all have seen it a million times. It's so good. But I should be back. I'll come back on here and finish up bronzer and all that good stuff. But I've got to go film something. Something that y'all are really gonna like. I've talked about it before, but this one is extra special. So let me go film that. Okay, listen, I'm back. I gotta add some more bronzer. I'm excited for y'all to see what I filmed. Look how smooth. And this is the natural lighting. I don't know what that meant. I assume y'all know what that meant. Absolutely loving this bronzer, but when I tell you a little bit goes a long way, a little bit goes a long way. It can get real bronzy real quick, which I like. But just don't go in here and try to, really, one tap. That's a one tapper. So I'm not gonna apply blush here because I'm gonna film the dupe, but I am gonna put on our lipstick. We're gonna figure out something. It's gonna be spicy. And by spicy, probably a nude. I'm sorry. Can't change. So now I'm gonna grab another liner. I'm really vibing with these. This is the brown one. That's probably not the name. Don't you trust me unless I'm typing. It's called Honest. And I'm just gonna apply it on the outer part of the eye. Just connect it. But we're not done. We're absolutely not done. Let's grab an E27 and I'm just gonna start to smudge it. I'm just lightly pulling. I'm pulling in one direction, keeping the eye very rounded. With whatever's left, I'm just gonna tap it over this way. And the reason that I tap is that there might still be eyeshadow left in this, and kind of swiping back and forth can kind of active, see? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. There's gonna be shadow left in here, and that can fluff into our eye, and a lot of times that's actually what makes our eyes water. Yeah, just by doing that. I'm trying to be helpful here. Then I'm gonna grab this shade, E27. See how that fits so beautifully right there? Inner corner highlight. Okay, this is a very spicy color. It's a little more brown than what I normally grab. Oh, I love it. It's from Oma Beauty, and this is the shade Maya. By Mario Lip Liner in the shade Travis. I'm gonna grab an E26, and I'm just going to use this as a lip brush. Kind of soften and blend. We love multi-purpose brushes. I love this one for eyeliner, detail work, and as a lip brush. Okay, we're spiced out. Spice to the max. Spicing. All that. I'm gonna grab my C41 and just kind of go back over here. I don't like how this is looking. Let's melt that back in. Nice. Bet. Now, I'm gonna go film the dupe video. Get ready. Literally identical. I'm so excited to share it with y'all. And what else was I gonna film? Oh, I might film another foundation tip because one of them has to do with having your makeup already on. Yeah. All right, I love you all so much. This is pretty spicy. I'll save it to my highlights, and I'll save yesterday's to my highlights as well. I love you all, and I'll see you in the comments tonight.